I work with middle managers in complex organizations. These are people responsible for delivering initiative, new programs, new way of working. They actually work through very difficult complexity in their system, close enough to the work to see what needs to change, but not powerful enough to order the change to happen. So they find itself in a very particular situation. Senior leaders expect them to actually provide leadership. Colleagues are busy protecting their own priorities. Staff bring their own problems. Their system is full of history, politics, unspoken constraint. In this concept, the manager end up being accountable for results, but does not control the system around them. That is the space I focus on. This work is not about leadership in general or project management. It's not about motivational speeches or generic advice. It's about the lived reality of managers trying to move something important forward inside an organization that does not easily move. So over time, they start questioning themselves. And in this questioning, there is a lot of the motivation. They're encountering resistance. They feel caught between senior leaders and they want result. Over time, some begin to question themselves whether they're pushing too hard or hard enough, or whether their initiative will ever move. And that uncertainty starts to drain both energy and confidence. The goal of our work together is to change this situation, not by forcing the organization to move, but by helping the manager understand the system they're operating in and learn how to move within. And this starts with a major shift, the shift of understanding that organizations are not machines, they are social systems. When the goal of this work is helping the manager understand that social system, the one they are operating in, and learn how to move within it. When this works well, a few things start to happen. Initiative that feel stuck start actually changing. And this is because now you read the system clearly. Every action doesn't feel like guesswork anymore, but is actually framed into a larger perspective, the structure that my program provides. And perhaps most important, what this does is that they start managing themselves with clarity, with confidence, because they're now able to clearly see what is going on around them. A lot of this work revolves around three different ideas: power, participation, and progress. Power means recognizing where influence really sits in the system. Participation means bringing right people into the work instead of trying to push change alone. And progress means creating visible movement that builds confidence and momentum. Underlying all this, there is a particularly perspective on change. I do not believe the initiative fails because people resist change. Most of the time, they fail because leader misunderstands the system they're trying to move. Again, organizations are not machines; they're social system. What matters is not just the plan, but relationship, credibility, and formal alliance. And so, in this context, we provide managers with a clear path. We engineer the momentum step by step because we do not force organization to move. Before manager trying to change an organization, they need to learn to read it. And when you do read it, they see the system clearly. When they see the system clearly and they have a structure, decision can happen. Their actions now become much more strategic. The way we work together usually follow this sequence. We diagnose the situation, clarifying the challenge ahead of us. Then we look how the initiative is positioned inside the organization and we start seeing the stakeholders' influence that needs to determine its success. We compel key players, generate early traction. We then need to start co-create the change with the people in the organization to build the momentum. And finally, we document progress, creating a data collection system that is able to demonstrate the results and accelerate impact. Now, this work itself fulfilling because in truth, the traction, when small experiments targeted low risk action generate generate success, this create allies and traction because the experiments naturally attract new participants and validate the credibility of the change maker. And that creates the visible momentum that overcomes resistance and feedback into the larger scale experiment. Traction is, in a sense, built in. What this means is that this work in a very straight way. We move from the initiative feeling hopelessly stuck to demonstrating real visible momentum. From manager acting based on guesswork to actions that are strategic and deliberate. Energy is not longer drained by invisible resistance because credibility is established across silos and belief the top down authority to act is actually replaced by renewed sense of agency to influence outcome. Now we provide this kind of work through a variety of tools and services. Over time, all those possible way to deploy our expertise creates conversation with people who already recognize the challenges they're facing. If I had to summarize the whole thing in one sentence, I would say that we help middle managers who are trying to move important initiative forward inside complex organization learn how to understand the system around them, build influence without formal authority, and generate real progress when things previously felt stuck.